Welcome back to Sports Class with Dr. K. Shakira, Shakira! It is Super Bowl week. We're looking forward to one of the biggest halftime extravaganzas ever with J-Lo and Shakira. So, in honor of what promises to be a spectacular performance, we're going to talk in today's lesson about some of the greatest halftime performances in Super Bowl history. Now, the Super Bowl halftime show was not always the extravaganza that we expect it to be today. Back in the 60s and 70s, it tended to be just a local high school marching band or something like that. By the 1980s, they did bring in some bigger stars. They tended to be local performers from that area. So, it was Michael Jackson in 1993, Pasadena, California, the Rose Bowl, that blew the roof off the Super Bowl for the first time. So, all of the picks in this top 5 list are going to be from that 1993 era to today, the more recent shows. So let's get to it. Number 5, Wardrobe Malfunction, 2004. Everybody remembers, of course, the final moments, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, and whatever happened with that wardrobe. It's easy to forget, though. This was all around a great performance. There were many other big stars. Nelly was in there, Kid Rock was in there, and the performance by Jackson and Timberlake was pretty rockin' as well. So this one gets number 5 on the list, 2004, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake. Number 4, the performance that started it all, Michael Jackson in 1993 in the Rose Bowl. This was a spectacular performance by the standards of the day. Lots of special effects, had the appearance of Jackson bouncing all around the stadium. Now look, it's not what we expect today. The sound quality was not great. It wasn't as extravagant as some of the latest shows. But this was the one that really marked the halftime of the Super Bowl as a you made it kind of moment. You know you're a huge star if you get this gig. Number 3, 2013, Beyonce and Destiny's Child. Now I'm actually not the biggest Beyonce fan, but this was a spectacular performance. Hundreds of dancers all marching in unison. Very powerful and emotional performance. It was kind of stripped down as well. There weren't a whole lot of guest stars coming in. This was straight up Beyonce at her best, but a very memorable performance. Number 2, Prince in 2007. This might be a little bit of an upset. A lot of people consider this the greatest halftime show ever, and number 2 isn't too shabby. This was a tremendous performance by Prince, considered by many one of the great all-around live performers of all time. And he played many of his greatest hits, and of course everyone remembers playing Purple Rain in the midst of a downpour. It was an awesome performance, but just good enough for number 2 on my list of the top 5 halftime performances. And that's because number 1 goes to a very special performance when it comes to Super Bowl halftime shows, 2002 by U2. This was the first halftime show after the 9/11 attacks, and the whole thing was dedicated to the victims of those attacks. And Bono and U2, just a great kind of humanitarian global band, it struck just the right note in the midst of what must have been a really difficult kind of performance after that horrible tragedy. So, U2 in 2002 gets my vote as the number 1 halftime show of all time. Let me know what you think and what your picks are for number 1 in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.